Hey everyone, welcome to Tint Wisdom number 131. Today I'm going to be joined with Mike Sanchez from Dirty Tools. We're going to bring him in just a minute. And before we do, I just wanted to mention two things. We have the Tint Off in Orlando coming up June 7th through the 9th. It's a Monday through Wednesday, and that is in Orlando, Florida. And a lot of people have been asking if it's worth going to, if people are going to go. A lot of people are going to go. It's 1000% worth going to. So get registered. You can register on their website. Just go to Google and type in Tint Off 2021 and it'll come up. But their website is something like wctevent.com. So that's the Tint Off. And then that ends on Wednesday. Immediately after, on Saturday, there's the Tinter Battles in Houston. So here's the move. You go to the Tint Off Monday through Wednesday. On Thursday, you hop in a car, you drive to Houston. You're there to relax on Friday. Saturday is the Tinter Battles. Sunday is the Tinter Battles extension, which is the tint drive-through. And then you fly out of there. So I highly, highly recommend making both. You can get your free tickets for the Houston event on tintertainment.com. It's completely free. Go on there and register. That takes care of the events. And then also I wanted to mention I have an iPhone 12 here. It's a purple iPhone 12. It just came out. It just arrived seconds before. So basically what I'm saying is we're going to give this away in the Tint Wiz community on Facebook. So if you're a Tint Wiz user and you're not in the community, get in the community on Facebook. It's called Tint Wiz Community. And then we're going to be giving this away and we'll make the post tonight after Tint Wisdom. So it is an iPhone 128 megabyte or gigabyte, and it is unlocked for any user, and it's purple. So that's that. And without further ado, I introduce everyone, or everybody already knows, the extra famous, extra special Mike Dirty Sanchez. Mike, welcome.
What's going on, Eric? Thanks a lot for having me. And first and foremost, I want to thank the Lord for giving me an opportunity to be here. I want to thank all the people that are actually going to join us. If there is going to be, I hope there's a lot of people. I did invite a lot of people over a couple of days and whatever. I love them to death. They're followers, they're dirty followers, and I really appreciate them. And I hope they're here. And I want to say thanks for everyone that's going to be joining and all that kind of good stuff. I want them to actually ask a lot of good questions and all that kind of stuff. And I know that people think that I say a lot of cursing words and whatever. I'll try to be very conscious to not do this or that, but sometimes I get excited and it's in my nature. It's not. I'm not trying to impress everybody or anybody or anything like that. I've been like that since I was like 12 or 14 or 16 because I've been in the workforce forever. So I've been in the workforce with adult people. So anyway, I picked up some habits and just part of me, part of my nature. So if you follow me, I think you know that I don't mean anything raunchy about it, but it's just the way I am.
Yeah, you definitely have a unique way of communicating. You have a unique voice on Facebook. Put it that way. You have a unique voice, and it has built you quite a following. I mean, not just your voice, of course, but who you are and what you've done. For people who don't know, why don't you kind of just give a background of what you're doing right now and who you are?
What I'm doing right now is a lot of things, but I would probably want to tell the people because a lot of people do not know the story of what I've been doing or whatever, and why it is that I preach so many things on the internet, on Facebook groups, and why I decided to join a lot of forums, being moderator and all that kind of stuff. Moderator is just really a helper, somebody that wants to help out the community in a free way. And we look at people that go into groups and all that kind of stuff. I really volunteer for that because I love doing that. Anyway, I started this. A lot of the people probably don't know what newspaper clippings are, but back in the day when I was 16 years old, and that was a long time ago, I had the option of either going to a grocery store, a McDonald's, flipping burgers, and all kind of shit. And since I was very, very small, I really, really knew that I didn't want to do that. I just don't know why. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to bag groceries. I didn't want to do the McDonald's. And I was looking into some stuff in the classifieds, and I saw that somebody glass film company in the surrounding cities was training people because it was so it was a very young thing, and it is, I guess, in my area, 1983. It was pretty young, right? So they would train you if you would go out there, and if they see that in a couple of windows you do cut the mustard and whatever on what they're asking you to do, then they'll hire you. So I was too young. I was 16. And so I told my brother-in-law, hey, man, let's go. And it looks interesting. They say to put film on cars, window film. I didn't know what the fuck that was, right? So I kind of remembering that my brother had bought a window film from AutoZone a long time ago, and he put it on my sister's car because he wanted to drive it. It was a very nice Camaro, 1976. I actually ended up owning it later. I bought it for my sister because I thought it was going to be cool to drive it in school. And he put the film, not to fuck with you, on the outside. And I didn't know nothing about it. And there was no heat shrink. And everybody knows what a 1976 Camaro side window is. It has a lot of bubbles and whatever. So he put it on the outside crease and everything. I didn't know. It was black. It was cool. It was there, but that was then. So when I went to this company, right, that's what I remember about that. When I went to this company for the deal about the window film, my brother-in-law, hey, man, go ahead and apply for whatever. He didn't get the job. He didn't get called. But my nature has always been so like, I don't know, man, I'm always out there, right? So I called the company and I go, well, my brother-in-law, left an application or whatever for employment. He never called and whatever. And what's up? We have 346 people that applied. We haven't gotten to them. Well, what if I apply? And what does it take? What do you got to do? Well, you got to do a window. And well, it sounds easy. Well, what can I go and do it? So I was persistent enough that they said, okay, man, come over, show me what you got. 1983, people still use these side doors on training school, right? They put a little door of a car that's a roll up and shit. And they gave me that. They gave me a piece of film. So the manager person, where was their training, do this. On the third try, I was like, fuck, you got it perfect and whatever. And let me call the owner and we're going to give you a job. I never told him I was 16. Back in the day, I think it was illegal to hire people below 18. So that was in the summer. I was bored as fuck. I mean, I come from a family of immigrants, right? And, being in the fields was the only thing that we could do legally, I guess, without having to have a real job like at Stripes or 7-Eleven or whatever, right? So I did that when I was 14, and I said, no, man, this is way too hard, difficult. Like, it was backbreaking. So anyway, so I go out there, and it was the summer. They gave me the job after 3 windows. They were paying me $3.35 an hour. I remember that clearly. Nothing else I remember after that, right? But when the summer was over, 3 months, I was already slapping film on. The people that were there, they're drunk fucks, Now I know what the stigmatism of why the tinters got to be alcoholics, late people, this, that, and all that kind of stuff. Now I know why. These people are irresponsible. They'll call in, they'll go drunk, blah, 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 blah. Me, I was like 16, had a lot of talent and whatever. It seems to me. And lo and behold, the beginning installation deals were like the hardest. It was like no removing panels, and every single window had to be shaved. And that's what I learned. I learned the hardest systems. The cars that were Impalas, Caprice Classic, Cutlass Supremes, all those difficult furry cars. That you can imagine. That's what I learned from. In 3 months, when they finished, the owner said, I got to leave. I told him, I got to leave, got to go to school. And he's like, no, man, I'll pay you $1 more an hour, but you got to stay here full time. They go, dude, my parents, they're Mexican. They're going to kill me if I drop out. No, that's not even an option. Like, come on, man. No, I'll be here next year if you want me to in summer, whatever. That's my beginning of window film. And after that, like a half a year later, when I turned 17 and a half or something, somewhere along the line, I saw another clipping in the newspaper, another company, and same deal. No tinters anywhere. We'll go ahead and kind of see what you got. If you're half-ass training, we'll kind of train you. I went out there, did a window, shaved it, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, God damn, but you took a long time. And I go, oh, that's the way they train me. Okay, I'm going to take everything you did, I'm going to wipe it out of your brain, and I'm going to make you a much better tinter. And that was my second instructor in my life, and he made me a really, really good tinter, so much so that in 6 months, I surpassed him in quality, speed, and anything you could imagine. And he already been there for several years. He showed me to go from like a 3-hour car to like 1.5, 1 hour car, et cetera, et cetera. And no shaving this time. It was just pre-cut a pattern, slide it over a bit, and get it all done, stuff like that. Those are my beginning of the things, I trampled over other Mickey Mouse jobs related to tinting, like tint here, 3M here, this, whatever. And they all had the same problem: fucking drug dealers and more drug dealers and people hitting on my first ex-wife and blah blah. And then so my first ex-wife says, you know what? All these people are a bunch of fucking clowns. Why don't we just do it on our own? And so back in the day, I said, okay, but I'm real shy. I'm not shy now, right? But I'm real shy, and I go, what are we gonna do? Like, look, me go do cards everywhere. You do the job. And so that was the beginning of Tinting Express, or the Tinting Express. That's my corporate company right now. And that was like many, many decades ago that I did this. And it was like that ever since. So I went from being a mobile window tinter to being picked up by a company like, I've heard about you all over the valley. My area is comprised of, like, let's say 10 cities put together. It's a metropolis that kind of looks like a million folks out here, pretty much. So I heard about you, blah, blah. It's a multimillionaire guy, and he's still like 4 blocks away from my business. It's my competitor. He uses 3M. And he was like, I want you to come and work in my company. And I go, I don't want to be your employee. I don't care to be your employee. No, 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 no. We're going to rent you a space. You can do the space. I'll get a commission of whatever car you make. And that's it. Do as much as you want. So I had my very happy living there for, like, I guess about 15, 16 or 18 years. I really can't remember. We did so much. So many employees went through my business, and I trained everybody on the fly very fast. It was a very fast paced environment. One bay, no aircon. Three other ones next to me, the audio guys, a lot of disrespect for our tinting people. They didn't close the doors. We needed doors closed. They had the cars on with all the exhaust, and it was annoying. I put up with that shit for 15 or 18 years. And then somewhere in the middle, I had already kind of like, I come from a family that we save a lot of money. And my mom and my dad always made a lot of money. They always made more than $100,000 a year, but they never gave us a single penny. It was like, you want McDonald's, you go and buy it. Or what's McDonald's? I don't know that. Are you seriously want me to buy you a burger when you got five other brothers and sisters? Like, you're crazy. So that's where I came from. So I saved a lot of money. I saved so much money from being there, doing so many cars in one bay, that I was able to afford to buy my own properties and then eventually buildings and whatever. So I had two concurrent businesses. I had Budget Window Tint, which the building I occupy, and I had Tinting Express on 10th Street, 4 blocks away. And the owner didn't like that. He said, all the people are going to go to your other business because they know it's yours. And I go, no. Tinting Express, we do very expensive cars over here. And Budget Window Tint, like it sounds, we do the $99 cars over here. And this is my strategy. I want to get a lot of cars done. But all the cars are done in my building, in my new building that I did. He didn't like it. So eventually, probably after 5 years, he said, we're going to call it quits. I'm going to do my thing. You do your thing. And I go, hey, I'm good. I don't, I kind of took it a little bit like, but I realized that as a business person, he has the right to do that. And I love him for doing that. I love him for giving me the opportunity to do as much as I did. Now, people went there and still go there thinking that it's, my company, and they realize it's not my company. One of the biggest drivers there was 1 hour service. I mean, if anything sold and people really went there, was 1 hour service. We did cars in about 25 minutes. And I know there's a lot of people say I did a lot of cars and whatever. I had a crew of 4 people in one stupid little bay where one car fits and that's it. And the most cars we did was 34 cars. One day, one bay, 4 people. And is it possible? It's possible. It's very hard rotating cars, but that's what I had to do. First of all, I went to the university. I'm educated. I know math, but I didn't know how to run a business. And as far as I'm concerned, I gave a lot of my damn work away early on. So I only till, I guess, recently I started to really, really increase the prices a lot versus what I was doing before. So when I go to the forums and talk to my peers, I've been there. I've fucked up so many times. I've done that. And that's why I preach from my heart. I never go out. I used to be a dick. on the Facebook. And Eric, I don't know how long you follow me, but I used to be pretty mean before. I think that's why where I got the name Dirty and all that kind of stuff. But along the way, I got a lot of pals, a lot of great pals, intelligent people that cleaned me up, and they told me these things and these things and these things. So little by little, I've been shying away. But when I talk to my peers, I respect them a lot. I love them a lot, but I want them to know I've been there. They ask me about relationships. They ask me about partnerships. They ask me about mobile tinting. They ask me about cheap. They ask me about expensive. They ask me about brands. You can ask me about everything, anything. I've been there, done that. I've been actually around that time that I was doing the 30 some cars and whatever. Uh, we didn't have, I guess, no Facebook, and I guess I didn't even know we had beepers back then. I don't think we had phones. Somehow along the way, I got a flyer in the mail about a tinting competition in Houston, Texas, for the 3M. Uh, I forget the name of the company, but they were a 3M distributor like forever. And I think everybody knows Levy, and now they do some other stuff, but still a distributorship. So I was like, really? And like they invited me, and I was like, well, what is this going to be about? And I was in my own world, really thought, because within my own, little valley that I had, we had other tinters, and I saw they were real good tinters. And I saw myself little by little escalating, beating them little by little. We
Mhm.
kind of like did collabs. Well, we call them collabs now, but back then, hey man, come over to my shop and help me do a car too. They just really want to see what I could do, and where they kind of like compete, right? Without even saying we're going to compete. So I saw their stuff. I kind of like escalated the ranks, and I knew that I was the big dog in my area. But then they invited me to Houston. Houston's not a small town. They invited people from other states, and I didn't know. It was like top dogs. If there's a lot of great quality installers, they're going to be in Texas. And 3M has always had like, well, back in the day, right? I don't know about now, but back in the day, 3M's always had top dealers, a lot of dealers, a lot of installers. A lot of people went. I went out there, and I was like fucking flying on a cloud like if I was a big shit. And believe it or not, they showed me so much stuff,
Mhm.
and I was embarrassed in the back window because I didn't know how to heat shrink in one piece. Yet I was doing seamless, and I was a monster to this day to doing seamless. I can do, let's say, a this or that Beetle, whatever car in a seamless fashion. You wouldn't tell where the seam is at because I cut it on the defroster, which now I know is such a bad thing to do. Um, and then so I didn't know. So I beat everybody in all the rounds, but when it came to the last window, I didn't know how to heat shrink non-shrinkable film. And I think that some of my colleagues, Salvador Hurtado, used to be an employee of mine. Now he's a great window tinting champion. I think he remembers the non-contour days of window film. So we didn't have shrinking film, or at least I didn't think it was shrinkable. So I went out there, and with the same guys that went out there, it was a main man, his employee, and then me, from over there. And they were from, bigger place in Texas. And they got first, second, and I got third. The reason I got third is because I couldn't shrink a damn back window. So they just gave me a trophy. Here, you got third because you're a third runner up. It took me 1 year, my man. 1 year. I learned how to shrink whatever it was. You could give me stainless steel, fucking saran wrap, tile. You gave me whatever you wanted to, and I was going to shrink it because I learned. I'm just born that way. And in 1 year, and I put in my computer, there was a time, clock in my thing, 247 days, 246. I pumped myself up so much. When I went out there, I was flying on top of two fucking clouds. I went out there and beat everybody, demolished everybody, and got first place. That was my first place trophy I ever did. And then I got another one, and then I got too nervous in the third year that I did. A lot of my employees that I've trained with me, we went to medical competitions, we went to 3M, we went to some international ones, and I think I've gotten 6 people from flipping burgers and doing some other stuff to being doing what I do, and gotten them on the podium. And I'm very, very proud of them for having done that. But it only taught me one thing: I'm a good teacher. And some people, they know how to tint very well. They're much better than me, but they don't know how to teach. So they'll hire me to teach them because of the patience, the this or something, right? So at least that's some of the stuff where I started. And you can ask me more stuff because you might have some questions because I can fucking talk on. My history is beyond long, beyond long. So ask me more questions, and maybe I'll jump back and remember some more stuff.
Sure. So, okay, you mentioned that you purchased a building. You saved up, you purchased a building. Is that the building you're currently in now?
No, yes, but what happened was I purchased some properties first, and there was a home in the property, so kind of remodeled it
You
to
should
look
move your
like an
phone.
office.
You should
And
move.
in the back,
You should
what was
move your
that?
phone because it's vibrating. The phone.
Yeah, give me a
Oh,
second.
it's
Let
the
me just
phone that we're
decline. It's
on.
just a lot of people.
Got it.
You good?
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, a
All
lot of
right.
people calling, all that kind of shit.
Of course.
So
No,
anyway,
go
so
ahead.
I bought the property, and they had a home renovated to a business in the back of my property. My mom was so nice enough to gift me money to buy the other. Well, actually, let me see. No, she gifted me the money. She said, "Look, when I croak, and she hasn't croaked, thank the Lord. I'm gonna. I wanted to give you money, but since I know you're like a young entrepreneur and we don't have one of these in the family, all my other brothers and sisters they're like educated, like college, and I do university, but I don't use any university stuff. My stuff has to be with tinting and running a business, right? So anyway, we did the building, and she donated the back part, a building for housing 3 cars and another office and whatever. So that's where I started. Made a lot more money doing a lot more cars and whatever. And then I demolished all that property and did it into a big parking lot and then did a big fucking building. And this building is where I currently reside, and it's becoming too small for me. And it's a huge building, but some people next door might leave or whatever. They're kind of old apartments, whatever. I might buy them out and then expand over there. But yeah, currently where I'm at, I was able to buy them and I paid for them with my own monies and whatever. So we're good as far
So,
as that goes.
how do you feel? Like, I would. I think a lot of people don't necessarily consider that they can own their own building. Like, you're it's enough building your tint company, saving money, paying for your home and your personal things and so on. But like you said, you can buy the building, and I think obviously, like I'm sure everybody would agree that owning the building is a beautiful thing. But I guess I just wanted to get your perspective since you own the building, how much it benefited you, if it did. I mean, it obviously had to, but because I think some people out there, this may open their eyes to like, hey, it's worth saving to potentially own my property one day.
There you go. Okay. Eric, unfortunately, I wish I had a better answer for what you're asking me, but I'll tell you right off the bat because it's what I've observed over the years and learned from other intelligent people is that not everybody is that apt to be a business owner. And I follow forums and I read them, and everybody aspires to be a business owner, but not everybody is cut out to be a business owner. Ask Mike Burke about it. You had him here twice. People will be installers and can install the fuck out of anything really good, better than me and anybody on the planet. But when it comes to trying to juggle stuff about finances or customer relations or business accounting or
Sure.
anything that's related to a business, and I did it. I mean, I'm a marketing genius in my own thinking.
Hmm.
And they come into the forums and ask the most basic questions about how to run a Facebook ad. My friend, they're not
Hold on.
talented
Let
enough
me reframe the
to have
question.
the business deal.
Let me
I'm
reframe
sorry?
the question. Let me reframe the question. From the
Yeah,
people who own businesses, there,
yeah.
we have renting a property versus buying a property. I was just wondering your perspective for the already
That's a much
business
better
owners
yeah, that's a much better
that they
question.
could
I thought
set
it
their
just meant
sights
pinners in general.
so that,
Yes.
yeah.
The people that the people, it all depends what they want to do. If they think that window film is in their blood and they're gonna do it forever, I wouldn't draw a home in a sand, and that's renting. Okay? So renting to me is not a good option, but it's their decision. You can rent for 20, 30 years if you want to, but you hold zero equity and zero monies. You're building in the sand. Two things now. If where you're at, um, God forbid, the owner dies and somebody buys them out, and whoever buys them out says you got to get the fuck out, you're out. The other thing is that if they increase the rent so much that you're always, saying, complaining about the rent, this or that. So long story short, you have no control when you rent. If they want you out, I mean, I'm saying it because it happened to me. I did so well in my other business that I was renting that the current owner said, "Man, this guy makes a lot of money and he's a dumbass businessman. I'm going to double the price, do a lot of money, and I'm going to scoot him out." And that's what happened in an ugly way of saying it. But in a business sense, I always tell them the same thing. If you're going to rent and you're going to go in with a mechanic, you're going to go with the AC guy and whatever, watch out. If he's more savvy than you, he does that, you can do contracts, you can do whatever. I did it thinking and knowing that I was going to make my own buildings. Allowed me to eat a lot of shit for a long time. I withstood their bullshit of the emissions, the cars, the dust, telling me to be faster because they were making commission off my work. So therefore, they're always on my back. Always make more money, make more cars, and that's why I became so fast and so good, so quick, right? So that's my response right there. The renting, I'm not too thrilled about it. People can do it successfully. Like let's say John Little. He's one of the few examples who has a relationship with a car dealer that gives him cars and is loyal to him. And he's been doing that forever. He's one example in a million. That doesn't happen every day. So the minute that your landlord sees that you're coining, he can tell you to leave. And that's going to be very hurtful. And then when you leave and you never prepare for it, that's going to be more hurtful. When I knew that I was going to leave the building, I already had a lot of cash money, set aside, line of credit, everything. So owning the building, to me, it's where it's at. If you've interviewed a lot of people and they rent, great, and it's working out. But the other thing is that when you own your building and you want to retire 20 years from now, or you're renting for 20 years, tell me what you got in the rent in 20 years. You got shit. And over here, you got a $500,000 property, and just that's a nice little nest, man. And you're making money coining the same way you're doing the rental. So that pretty much is obvious.
Sure.
That's what I know.
Yeah, I think that's really good advice. Now, what was you sell tools, you sell window film, you do more than just install window film. Can you kind of take us through like your first venture outside of just installing window film on cars and going into like creating products and marketing products and so on?
The thing about the marketing has always been a part of me. I didn't know it. Like I said, I had a lot of friends that told me, dress up, don't wear sloppy ass shirts. All my primal videos were me with a torn shirt and fucking long hair and this and that. And they told me these things, right? So marketing has always been a part of me, along with the help of a lot of friends cleaning up and doing this and doing that. The tool thing is by accident. The tool thing is really by accident. It was a pouches. Everybody uses the Ergodyne. Me too. They tore, they did this, I did that. I had an upholstery department for many, many, many years, still have it on the weekends only. And I was telling my guy, make me this, but make it in canvas because this shit doesn't last. So I made it in canvas. And then I was like, well, put a loop here and do this and do that. And along the way, I was showing people the little progress that I was doing. And yeah, man, can you do that for me? I want one with like fucking two loops here or this and that or whatever. And it just became a thing that I started doing it as a hobby for some friends, kicking the ball around or whatever.
Mhm.
And then, but at the same time, I was like, man, but me making something for my friends, it's like $90 of labor. And how can I tell them it's $180 for a fucking $15 pouch or something that I did for them as a favor or whatever? So I kind of like left it alone for a while and I started monkeying around, like developing something only for me, for my liking, right? But then I had a friend, international window film champion, Mr. Bob Turner. He was like, Mike, I have a pouch and they don't make it anymore. And I'll give you whatever you want, redesign it with your fabric, and I'll pay you whatever you want. So to me, it was a challenge. So I did it. Ace of Spades. It was beautiful. Gave it to him. It was all good and dandy. At that time, I was like, why don't I design something for me? Like more like. So I started doing designs, showing him on the internet. What about this? What about that? long time ago, I used to have a friend named Jeremy Shapiro, and he came in here and kind of like taunted me and said, like, yeah, yeah, that's all you got, kind of that kind of bullshit, right? So I kept on redesigning it in my mind, imagining I don't look at stuff. I only look at, I'm an applicator, and that helps a lot. Okay. I'm an applicator. So I looked at stuff and efficient. I mean, I did so many prototypes, never even showed them again on TV or nowhere. And then I did one that I was so comfortable, and that was the Gen 1 Dirty Pouch. And I put it out there, and people fucking went bananas. And back then, I used to belong to a little a group named In the Film Business, right? A private group. And so I put it in the film business. I did model some fucking hats and did this and that. Man, it was just a sensation thing. It just took over, right? It took off. My upholstery guy couldn't keep up with me. It was like, dude, it's so much orders and so much orders, whatever. The Dirty Pouch evolved to more gens because one installer, and I listened to everybody, okay? One installer said, "Wow, it's too hard," and that was David DeRocha. And see, okay, David, I'll go ahead and modify something and here. So I kept modifying it to where it came out to be the very best that it could be. And up to this day, it probably has like three gens of the Dirty Pouch. And what I was so happy and proud about was that the person, Jeremy Shapiro, that was giving me shit on the internet about being not being able to come up with some good pouch. And he told me one time, oh, I saw him at the tin off over there in Florida. He was like a little baby in a corner with a little dumb pouch. I'm gonna wax the floor, mop the floor with him with a pouch or hammers, this or that. I took that pretty offensive,
Is
coming
this in
from a
good
supposed
spirits?
fucking professional.
Is this in good
What?
spirits, or was this like is this like
No, no,
tension?
he doesn't like me.
Got it. I
He
thought it
blocked
was a.
me.
I thought when you said like I used
No,
to have a
bro.
friend, I thought like you were. It was like okay, I
I
got the
really,
tone. I'll stop
really, I
laughing
really, really admire.
because
I
I didn't
really,
know
really
anything
admire
about this.
Jeremy Shapiro for being a business person, for being a great installer, for doing the Dow 995, for tackling large projects. He's a great businessman, but in pouches, he sucks. Okay, so he just does. I have his pouches here. Friends have gifted to me because they said, "Do you have something better in this?" And I go, "I'll trade it. I'll have it. I'll examine it. And I'll tell you what's wrong with it because I never bought a product from him." So I have it. I examine it, and I go, "Oh, no wonder that people are complaining. I mean, it's just not built correctly. Not efficiently in any which way, nothing." So anyway,
So Jeremy was your jet
so
fuel.
when
He was your jet fuel to innovate, is what you're saying.
I don't know if it was jet fuel. I think that I really focus more on my peers. I focus more on my customers.
Okay.
That he insulted me, and I didn't know that years down the road, when people say a pouch, and then you get 15 of my cronies, my very good pals, saying dirty pouch, and a one nut hugger says draw tools, it's very, very like satisfying to me because I know that I have demolished whatever words he ever said bad about me and my pouch and my persona and whatever. He went into my YouTube channel and said that I was the worst person to represent the film business industry. Why? Why would you say that? I mean, just
I
don't
don't
say
know,
anything.
but you're right.
Like
I
Mama said, if you got nothing good to say, don't say anything at all, right? So anyway,
You're right.
so so that
Let's
there
move
to
on
me
from
was
him
like,
just because he's not here to like, you know what I mean? Like let's just
I
again,
love him to death,
okay.
and I wish we could be friends,
You
but he
can.
just thinks that because I have a better product than him that I'm not to be liked by him. Like, why not? Like, dude, I mean, you
I
you killed
agree.
it for a decade.
I
It just
agree no matter
happens to be
what.
that you dropped the ball and
Yep.
you kept your eye out of the consumer, like what he wants and how to build a better product. And I came along and fulfilled the need. And why do you hate me for that? Like, if anything, I'm an industry. What do you call it? Somebody comes and disturbs that pushes people to do better. I
Okay.
want window film companies to do better for us. I don't like curly film. I fucking hate it. From the biggest corporation of window film in the world, I want them to do better. I don't want them to lose to India any day. I was born in the USA, and I want USA to win all the time.
So speaking of
I
that,
love
you
to
you
go
re-
for my American companies and root for them. But that's all I can do. Other than that, whatever.
So recently you
Anyway,
came out with your own window film. Speaking of that,
no. I haven't come out with my own window film.
well,
I am
it's
a reboxer. I have
reboxer. Okay.
observed great window film. But let me rewind. You can ask me about that a little bit later.
Okay.
Let's talk about the tools again. So with the pouch came the, like, okay, I'm selling pouches. I was just doing messenger money, PayPal a lot and whatever. And then eventually I was like talking to Ariel Villalon. He's a good friend of mine. We don't talk right now, but he's a very good friend of mine. Inspired me, cleaned me up. Why don't you go into the tool businesses and you're already there? The avenue's there. You're delivering a product to a tint shop. They need other shit. Why don't you fulfill that need? So they go, yeah, but isn't that kind of hard? Like, no, man, I've been everywhere, here, there, to people's places of manufacturing, and if you have the room full, the size of a fucking restroom, full of tools, that's it. That you're a distributor. They go, really? That easy, huh? So I got into that, and well, I got a hold of all these Chinese distributors and this and whatever, and started, if anybody gets like Cartwright, he's a Chinese guy, whatever, a Cartwright catalog, and buys all the fucking tools from there, you're a tool distributor. That's the way it is right now. Amazon does it, everybody does it on the internet, right? Along the way, I kind of realized that a lot of the tools needed some type of tweaking, or they weren't to my liking. I'm an applicator. And I said it like 7 years ago. I'm not going to go back on the word. I said it 7 years ago or 5 years ago. A lot of these tools need tweaking. I have right there behind me a chest fucking drawer full of tools that are unusable and stupidly made, and they need modifications. And people end up buying them because people sell them. Look, it's very easy. I follow forums all the time, and people say, "What are your three go-to tools?" And that's it. They'll show you three or four fucking tools, and that's it. It's very seldom that somebody's going to open a chest drawer full of all these are the tools. No, these are all the tools that I bought. They've been wrong for film application, but I bought them because I want to see what's the fuzz about them. There is no fuzz. I don't know who the fuck invented them. They threw them out, and poor us installed. I tried them. I tried them all. I don't know what to do with them. And before I even go further, I want to thank Bob Williams. I want to thank the folks at Fusion Tools for opening the doors to the tool business, because they're the pioneers. They've been doing it for a very long time. A lot of their tools have been knocked off, and they don't like it, but it is just a reality of how things are. But thanks to them and a bunch of other folks that actually, not Cartwright people that you get a catalog and you buy all these fucking cheap plastic tools and you distributor. No, I'm not naming them. I'm talking about people that revolutionize this shit. And that's one of them. Perhaps might be Bob Williams. He has a lot of good goodies in there, and people at Fusion Tools. And so these people have paved the way. What does that mean? They are in every single distributor of window film in the world. So because they open up all these doors and they're already there, it gives me and a lot of other people access to them. Okay, who buys the tools? What are they needing? Blah 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 blah. So when I got into this deal of doing the tools and whatever, I was first doing a lot of like just reselling shit, plastic stuff, like everybody else. Maybe a little bit of coin. But I was kind of disappointed in myself. Some of the tools broke and this and that. And I replaced a lot of tools from my friends and whatever. And I had a lot of ideas. I started developing my own tools. And along the way, I kind of said to myself, you know what? I think I want to do this because a lot of people call me out, hey, you fucking Chinese distributor and this and that and whatever. And I didn't want to have that enigma stuck to dirty tools or dirty promotions or myself, right? And so I said, I'm going to start doing my own stuff because I really want to do them. I mean, from everything from the ground up, you know? So a long time ago, and I think Rick McIntyre remembers this conversation, right? I was going to come out with a keg. It was a god-awful fucking keg, the dirty tank, right? In the beginning, because there was only one keg back then, and it was from 44 Tools or somebody else. It was $550, no bells and whistles, take it the fucking way it is, and that's that. And I go, there's got to be a better way, bro. And I was like, okay. So I started monkeying around with that and put up an ugly ass tank and whatever. Half the price, there it is. It's a dirty tank. Rick called me the next day. Fuck, you beat me by 1 week, man. And I was like, up to this day, I can tell him, Rick, it's not who's first, it's who's better. And to this day, Rick McIntyre holds a better looking tank, and he's everywhere in the world. He's recognized for the tanks and all that kind of stuff. But thanks to him, thanks to a lot of people, Burns Mulhern and all that kind of great guys that have helped me along the way. A lot of other people don't help me. They really wish Dirty wasn't around with his tool ideas and his bullshit. But there's great people like I want to thank him, Rick McIntyre, Burns Mulhern, and a lot of other friends around me that don't want to be named because they work for corporations, and they've helped me, clean up my act and do this and do that, and tools and development and how and this kind of stuff. So that's when I started developing my own stuff. And one of the things that I stumbled upon is that if I develop my own tools, how long has it been already? How long have we been on the air?
Oh, don't worry about that. 41 minutes.
Oh, okay, man, I don't
Don't
want to
worry about
ramble
that.
forever. So anyway, so
There's no time.
I started developing some tools that are more unique to just what I develop, right? And now that I have tested the markets long enough and put it out there, and people really with their purchasing power and decisions, I'm going to go ahead and mass produce stuff, but branded to me and refers to me, and it's my development as how I want it to do. So that's the way that I'm getting around to not using useless plastic fucking tools, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. A long time ago, before I even did the tool, I not even did I even imagine anything about tools and this and that. A long time ago, the people at Fusion, of course, they have the world's best-selling, the squeegee holder, right? And it has this neck thing. Right? Everybody knows about the neck thing. And I bought it because I'm a tool purchaser back then, like everybody else. And I was like, I couldn't get my hand on it. Like, there's something going on. I go, this fucking neck. And so I went to the grinder and I took it off. Took it the fuck off, and I made a thing, right? And somebody was like, I posted it like, you know what? There's a great tool, but if they would take the neck off, a lot of the people would be a lot happier. And one of the owners came in and like, I'm not going to do that because it costs $10,000 to make that modification. People buy them and they do whatever they want with them, they said, and they can do the saw thing and whatever. Long story short, I didn't know that I had influenced enough people to go knock on the owner's door and say, we want you to make something that doesn't have the neck. A year later, comes out the shorty, the 5-inch shorty, and the rest is history. I said to myself, if I'm going to make tools better, why don't I just make them for myself instead of trying to beg people to make better tools for the industry? Because I can ask them, they don't have to. They don't have to listen to me. They don't have to buy it. I'm just a one-person opinion, and that's where I guess some of the reviews, the dirty reviews, and whatever people wanted me to review stuff. I don't even remember my first review of anything, but that might have been one of them. The other ones were the slip, the fucking pull test, and from there a bunch of other things barrage. So I'm a little package. It does a lot of things. I train people. I have my own company, corporate, Tinting Express, and then DBA Budget Winnington, my other business. Now I have, I rate a lot of the tools that they want me to do, and I do them cheerfully, like, yeah, but I tell them right off the bat, look, I don't care about your gifts, and I don't care about your this, and I don't care about that. I want you to know that if it doesn't come out the way you like it, two things. I'm going to call you and tell you that your product sucked. You want me to air it, or I can just never review it because I want to be nice to you that way. Because once I say something, people are gonna like react. And so a lot of people took it upon like, yeah, man, hey, you do it, and you kind of think you know what you're doing or saying, so kind of do it. And so I did it. So I started reviewing products, and for good or for bad. One of the greatest examples that I realized that I wasn't doing it so wrong. I'm gonna go back to the pull test, man. Did you ever see that, Eric?
What is it? The pull test?
A pull test of slip solution, how hard a slip solution adheres when the film to a glass.
I didn't see it.
You didn't see it. How long have you been following me, Eric?
You know, I think it's one of those things. If I had to guess, I'd say at least 3 years. But it's one of those things where you see a lot of people, and then as you see them over and over, they catch your attention. You don't know really when you first saw them. You just all of a sudden know them. So I can't tell you exactly, but go ahead.
When I did that pull test, and I knew for a fact that I was in the right, going in the right direction, was I was trying to do a pull test, and I did one half-assed, and then I did one, and I think they recommended me that I had to buy one of those pull machines, and it cost me $600, and it showed the ounces of pull and whatever. And then another engineer friend of mine that's in the film business, and he doesn't want to be named, so I'm not ever going to name him. He helped me to how to exactly do the pull test so it can come out correctly, ethically, before fucking pushing people off the hill, because that's unethical. I have to be responsible, right?
Yep.
So I did it, and I followed what a lot of people helped me to do. To me, sometimes I guess I am a medium of a lot of people's dreams of what they want me to do on the internet. I have the bravado, followers, balls, whatever you name it. So when I did that pull test and I saw those numbers and I saw their correlation, I didn't know at that time. 2 years later, I saw 2 years later a publication that had been out on the market for like a decade or something. They had the same pull test with the same slips, with the exception of, I believe, tint slime. And the pounds of pressure of release were so similar to mine. I go, fuck, I got it right. Man, I was like, I'm so glad that I did it right. And this is an engineer, like people they drop coin and doing pull test and longevity and how long film lasts and whatever. So I was so happy at that time that I had actually produced a test that was actually valid for something, like, so after that, it just snowballed that people kind of like, and they inboxed me, like, Mike, a lot of people are watching, they're not liking, or they're not ever going to inbox you, but so be very careful with what you say. Okay. So I did, like, big people, like the bigger guys. I'm like, you don't want to, be called out with a little letter of this or that. But no, man, my tests were correct up to this day. I tell people, if you want me to really review your PPF or this or that, I review stuff that I'm comfortable with, that I kind of know. If I don't know enough about PPF, then I'm not going to review it because I just don't know. I may know how to slap it on. I just don't know. There's other people that are way better than me that do a lot of other extensive testing, scratching this and whatever the fuck, and they're better. So I review the window films, mostly other product and whatever. As you saw, I think I did a review on the dash towel you're giving away from very good friends of mine from Miami, Florida. Coño, los quiero mucho. Hola, buenas noches. Okay, Martinez and the other gentleman Rodriguez, and they have a great product. But I didn't know. After I did all my review, I kind of saw what I said, and I've been following the other people's reviews. My review's right on point. Your shit's too short, and that's it. It's too short, and it's badass. The white, illuminates the windshield. I mean, everything that they did was on point. It's wonderful. The price is great. I mean, who's to say that somebody's $39 towel and 120? Dude, you're not buying a piece of microfiber. You're buying an idea, and you're buying protection from ruining a customer's car. That's the way that I see it. People are like, dude, it's fucking plastic. And I go, no, man, it's not plastic. I'm selling you an idea. If you would have had that idea and you'd have come, why do you like my tools so much? Well, because they work. Well, exactly. Took me a long while to develop them, the modeling and all that kind of stuff. It takes me months with monies and whatever, develop tools and whatever. So anyway, that's the way the dirty tools came about. And again, me growing in this dirty tool industry, I want to give thanks again to Rick McIntyre and Bernd Smallhorn because they're small business owners. I'm not going to call Eastman and Stuntek and say, hey, man, let's kick shoot the shit for a while and see what's up with tools. They're not going to help me.
That's Sun
Expel's
Distribution
not going to help me.
and
Nobody's going to help me. But these people, because they're, the smaller distributors, they've helped me immensely. And I really appreciate that from them to help with growth, because those are the very few people, Eric, that they understand that there's so much, an abundance of customers that cannot be serviced by one or by Lumar or anybody. Lumar is the largest manufacturer of window film in the world. Why is there 20 more distributors and there's still so much need and so much unfulfilled baskets of people who want to buy stuff? You know why? Because there's more people and demand than there are distributors out there. And people don't want to say that. I want to say that. That's a fact. Some people saying that too many distributors are going to clutter that this price wars. No, sir. If you want to go to price wars, go get yourself a Cartwright catalog of plastic shit and buy it. And then you're going to be, well, they sell a chisel for $1.50 over there. I'm going to sell it for 149, and then this 147. Why don't you create a better tool, sell it for $6, and you got nobody to compete with? There is a lot of untapped markets,
Mm-hmm.
unfulfilled, and that's where the dirty comes in. That's it.
So on that note, we touched on, or we started to touch on Dirty Tint a few minutes ago, and you were
Oh, the
very
thing, yes, yes,
specific about
sorry,
it
sorry
being a
about that.
rebox. Could you kind of bring up, like, maybe discuss, your motive behind offering that film and what people could expect? Who's the right type of person to buy that film and use it?
The uh, the uh, the dirty tints. I know a lot of people have told me, hey man, the name is off the wall. Nobody wants to buy no dirty tints and this and that. And I'm kind of listening. Okay, if it's really realistically correct that I'm fucked up with the name, for sure I'm gonna fix it. But don't think that I'm not in this game to win. If anybody is out there in the cameras observing right now, distributors, manufacturers, friends of mine, thinking that I'm doing this as a fucking sidekick, you're wrong. I'm in this game to win. And let me tell you, it's very easy, okay? A lot of other people that call themselves private label, okay, fine. You can be private label, whatever it is, right? But you don't have your own manufacturing plants. 99% of the people that distribute film don't have a manufacturing plant. Nobody does, right? So there is this manufacturing plants, and there's film that already in the, you just got to press the button of, okay, boom, create, and they create film. It might be a very simplified point of saying this, but I want to say it for my friends and peers. I can have other discussions with people that distribute film, and there's in-depth talks about that, of how film is made, all that bullshit. I don't want to touch about that. All I want to say is that when I decided to sell window film is because a lot of my friends do not want to be sold window film by other people because of territories, this or that, and they want to buy good shit. But some other people are dropping the ball, saying, "Well, the market, the cluttering, the this or that." So I'm going to fulfill that market. The films that I'm reselling are from established, great manufacturers that have been in the business for a long time that sell great film. All I got to do is put a sticker on it and sell it at a competitive price. So if you know for a fact right now that I'm selling you high quality window film that the other guys have, but you can't have, well, that's what I'm selling. Because a lot of people are like, hey, Dirty, you want to tell me what's going on? No, I'm not. Because I also have to sign an NDA because I can't burn bridges. I can't do this. I can't do that. I'm sorry. All I can tell you is that you've used great window film out there. Well, good. Mine is the same. That's all I got to say. Both in my dyed and my carbon, and the ceramic is coming, and it takes a lot of money. Look, Eric, I want to tell you, I want to tell my friends, it's been a very humbling experience going into the window film sales distributorship. You got to have a lot of fucking money to have a lot of stuff. I don't have all the millions that my friends have, other distributors, but I'm gonna get there. I have patience and I have time, and I have a lot of great followers, and they've been following me, and they purchase a lot of my stuff. And thanks to them, they're going to get me to that place. I'm going to be selling to a lot of people. I'm going to start cleaning up my boxes and better this and better branding, blah blah. The brand itself might change from Dirty Tint to something else. I don't know, but I just want everybody to know what's in the box is really good stuff, and that's all I got to say. I think that by now people ought to know that Dirty doesn't sell shit. And when Dirty sells shit, he will pull it out of his lineup. He will reimburse you the money or give you 10 other credits of tools and whatever. Because I've done mistakes, my man. I've done mistakes and I've learned from them. And that's all I can do. I can learn, and I apologize to people that, okay, that's a bad tool, man. And so that's why I'm developing my own now, so I don't have to, kind of like be at the mercy of other people's quality or this or that. I'm developing my own stuff. It takes a while, unfortunately, but I have patience, and the audience has patience. How long have you had the fucking chiseler? Like forever, right? If you're gonna wait for a better chiseler in a year, you can wait. You've been using a chisel for 20 years or whatever, right? So yeah, that's my answer to that. It's gonna come slowly, but surely it will, for sure. So that's a deal with Dirty Films. Why it is that I want to sell it, and the other reason is very simple. I am at an age to where eventually I would like to retire, and retiring with a great brand of tools, great tools that are better than the industry, that have consecutive customers, that are repeat customers. And I see on my computer, man, people buy over and over again. A lot of new people that hit me up from YouTube, Facebook, all over the world, man. I mean, I have so much love from all over the world, and I'm so appreciative to the Lord, to them, that they found me and they want better tools. They want me to actually be distributor, to distribute them in different countries so they can be distributors. That is another level. I mean, I have to drop more coin, bigger fucking warehousing. Like I said, I mentioned to you a while ago that this is a huge building, and I almost don't fit anymore, right? So that is a little bit of a problem as far as being a distributor of tools that have big boxes, that stuff comes in there and stuff like that. Window film occupies a lot of space, but eventually I'm going to wean away from doing automobile tinting in my business. I mean, I do more than half a mil. I used to do about three quarters of a mil in sales for many years. With these operations, they're just going to supplement, wean away from the car tinting stuff, and dedicate myself full, go around the country in a nice caravan or Winnebago or hot dog mobile, whatever it is, train people, show them my window film, and have them installed. Kind of like what Jody Knight is doing, but 99% of the reps out there, they don't know how to train, or they don't know tint. Yo, tint, and what's going on with a delaminate? What? Well, what? I'm just a rep. I just sell you film. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So 99% of reps of that, I'm going to be different in that scenario. I am an expert window film applicator. I'm going to go into shops, not only help the application, I also know about marketing. I know about running a business. And I did this last time in Texas. And here in Texas, in the last training, they asked me a lot more questions related than just a window film application. And I kind of like, look, we can talk about marketing for half a day, but you're paying me by day. So are you sure? Because right now your strength is to actually do more cars in a better way, so you can start coining more, charging more, and then we can move to marketing slowly some other day. They decided to go a different route, so they picked my brain for a long time and blah blah. So long story short, I don't like diluting nobody's deal. Either you're going to do marketing, or you're going to do business structure, or you're going to do a window film application. And I've never told anybody that I do marketing or whatever, because I want them to be taught in application first. And that's what they hired me for. And then after that, of course, the marketing we can do, like what we're doing and fucking texting. That's easier stuff, you know. And that's it, man. Yeah,
So,
as far as that goes. Oh, and you're telling me who's going to be able to afford it? I apologize.
like,
Let's say
who's the right person to be looking for your film?
the right person is going to be looking for a film. A lot of the people that have shops, okay, or even if they do it in the garage, but they're very successful, like doing a lot of turnover, them, that they have inferior films from, I don't even want to name names, because that won't be a gentleman for me to do. But I'm telling them that I have a great line of film from great manufacturers that have been in the forums for many years and no issues and whatever. And it's me and my experience. I can train you if you want, or you have that. That's the deal. And the price structure is very similar to what everybody else is selling in the market. So you're getting a lot of other stuff. Look, if you call, let's say, 44 Tools, and you say, hey, man, I want to buy a roll of tint and this and that. Can you show me how to apply it? Like, no. I'm Susie. I sell a lot of tools, 500,000 a day, but I don't know nothing about installation. I don't know what peanuts are. I do not know about how removing sweeps on a BMW 325. I don't know nothing about that. You want that, you get somebody else that's more full service. I'm going to be a full service that way. So that's why I decided that the tool thing and the window film, but I got a lot more to offer. You know, you call anybody on whatever 800 number, they can help you with tint. I'm sorry, they can't. You have an idea, Eric, on a daily basis that I have to wake up at 6 a.m. I can't show up for the world or open up anything, because I have to answer my mail. All the, hey, man, where's my tools? And fuck, I gave you a tracking number. And hey, Dirty, I got dirt spots over here. Hey, Dirty, let me put you on a real quick video. I'm having a problem with this car. And like, dude, I'm taking a shit right now. It's 7:30. What's going on? Like, people think that I'm just there doing nothing, and that they can just FaceTime like right away and help them with their problems right away. And I'm very good at that, Eric. And I love to do that, but it's getting to a point that I can't, I can't service a million people. Not like that on DM and this and that. And there's just so many of them. People touch my heart, you know.
So how do you think you're going to be able to? Oh, sorry. So
I'm just having a moment. Anyway,
yeah,
people come into my DM and touch my heart saying that my videos.
I mean, it just means that it means a lot to you, and that's super clear.
Yep, sure does. A lot of them. Too many. Just give me a second. I'll be back.
You take your time, and there's nothing but good comments in the meantime.
Anyway, so a lot of people tell me all these things about how they transform their lives on the videos, how I'm selfless and the way that I teach them and stuff like that. And they DM me from fucking South Africa, from India, from wherever, Transylvania, wherever that is, new places that I'm getting to know, and I'm touched. And I tell them, hey, you have a problem with applications that DM me, inbox me. I mean, I opened the door and now I'm complaining like it's too many of them. Yeah, it's too many. It's a lot. It's a lot, but that's what I signed up for.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I am different from a lot of other people that have closets, like RLV alone said, closets of fucking plastic tools, and you're a distributor. Well, that's all you are, my man. You're a distributor of plastic tools that might not fill the needs or fulfill the needs of a lot of applicators. I'm going to be different. I came to change the game. I am changing the game. I can see, and I'm not going to name a whole lot of things, but I can see that a lot of people are kind of like upping their shit because I'm a disruptor. That's what I try to say a long while ago, but I didn't come to me. I'm a disruptor of the industry, and if I don't create anything good or nothing good comes out of it, at least I know for a fact that a lot of the people that are selling tools in film, they produce better products only because I fuzz a lot about it on the internet, and my peers, they follow and they say, yeah, man, yeah, fuck those guys and let's do better tools and let's do better this. Well, yeah, I mean, you guys deserve some. If they're going to charge you $20 for this, won't you want it to be a better tool? Like, for sure, right? So that's what I'm going to be doing. And the window film, who's going to be buying, who's the people I'm targeting. There's a lot of newbies that come into the game, and before they get corrupted by all these other things that I want them to see who the dirty is, who he is not, why the tools are good or not. I use them in the video, and I try not to say too much about the tools that I use because I'm not trying to sell anything. If I have something good that I develop for me and I know it's a better tool, they want it. And the fuck, I don't know how much I can sell it in the beginning, right? Like, I don't know. Like, okay, let me do one for you. And I used to gift them before and whatever. And now I have to, like, on a scale, because it becomes so big. Now I need to like sell them at a scale, large scale. So disruptive industry. So some people have changed some of their products because I say, and the followers also say, hey man, and I have the world's best followers. I want you to know, I love it to death. I
Yeah.
have a lot of great followers. Anyway, if they have questions, have you even looked at the monitor? Do they have questions? What do they want to ask? If they want to ask anything,
So I
I have a
haven't seen.
question for them,
Go ahead.
and I have I don't like to give away tools because it kind of dilutes my brand, I believe, if I try to give shit away, but I'll give stuff away. If somebody wants, tell me a story. Tell me you're a beginner, that you're a good beginner, and why you believe that you deserve something for free from me. And I'll read your story, and I'll fucking throw hundreds of dollars of tools. But if you don't impress me, like you're just a guy that wants to get a free chiseler or a tool or whatever, no, I won't give you anything. But if you're a newbie and tell me a good story in DM or something, like a lot of people do, and they really touch me, man. And that's why I help them, selflessly help them, because I know that what I do is making a difference. So that's all.
Yeah. Well, you're talking about your followers, and you have the best like followers. Jamal said best tools ever, dirty tools, no bullshit. Jorge Camillo said this guy saved my ass a bunch of times. Always has time to give
Jorge
advice.
Camilo from
Super
Florida,
grateful.
Jose
Mhm.
Chimal, the Land Brothers,
Mhm.
Maverick Juarez. There is so many followers out there, and I got a couple of people that are like they follow me to hate me, and I'm okay because I don't have time. Sometimes if you catch me in a bad mood, I don't know. It's kind of hard to catch me in a bad mood, but if you catch me in a bad mood, I think that's where I got the name Dirty. I'm kind of like, I'm disappointed you didn't ask me, how in the fuck did you get the name Dirty anyway? How does Dirty even become a guy that sells tint that is supposed to be clean, my man? But
Fair.
you know what? I don't even know the answer to that question. But let me tell you what, when the film Pros, I was disconnected from the world. I didn't know that other tinters existed. And then Facebook, like, that shit's for kids, man. What's up? And later on, I kind of gave in because everybody was like this and they're fucking funny except me, old fashioned fuck. And so, like, I went in there and then when the film Pros joined, and I go, fuck. So I joined in, and that's where met the great Jeremy Shapiro and all the great people. I think when the film Pros has the most elite type of, and this is not to rub nobody's, it's just a fact. I don't care to be in a good with Patrick Franco, and it's really me and him don't even. He don't even like my comments. There's so many videos he puts out there, and I give a like. He doesn't even go and like any of my shit. So anyway, but when the film pros have the most elite stuff, hey, it happens, man.
I
You
know,
like
but
the
that's
dirty,
like
that's
I'm
okay,
being
man. You don't have
straight.
to like the dirty. I like his stuff,
I know, but
and I
sometimes you
follow him,
don't
and I
even see
respect
it
him because,
though. I feel like stuff
huh?
like that can be like, look, I get what you're saying, but like stuff like that can be perception. Because like my mom tells me stuff like that. She'll be like, yeah, this so and so didn't see the post. And I have to explain, like, sometimes people don't see your post. Maybe they're being petty, but maybe they didn't see it. I'm just saying, but I don't want you to think if I don't like your post that I don't like you, because that's never the
You like
case.
a lot of my posts, my man, and I appreciate
I'm
it.
just saying.
And you know what, Eric? Thank you for taking the time to do the interview because a long time ago you sent me a little envelope with some triage, which I don't like. Okay, that's my review of the triage. I don't like them. I think they suck. They do lack length and other things, but that's irrelevant. It came from your heart, and you did something, and I'm going to ask you something about that. And I was like, man, I got whizzed by Eric. What's going on here? Like, does he send shit to special people or Eric? Why do you, the great Eric, marketer, genius, why do you send stuff to people?
Try to make people's day a little better, people's businesses a little better. I like the idea of somebody who may not have been able to try a tool to be able to get to try that tool without having to buy the tool. I like to people to know that somebody's thinking about them. A surprise. Who doesn't like a surprise? It's everybody gets a little buzz on their birthday or on Christmas. But what about like you know June 3rd? What about that? What about May 8th? Like, we can all use a little pick me up. You never know. Maybe something hits you on a day where you really needed to know that, I don't know. I feel like, when they say it's like the gift of giving is like really rewarding, I think it's that. I like it.
It's not for marketing, Eric.
No, it's for that. It's really for that.
Okay.
It really is for
Because
that.
okay, hey, I just want you to be honest with the followers because a lot of people respect you. I think you're a great marketing person,
And
and thank you for those. Thank you for those. The tools that you gave me. Then you gave me something really expensive, some chilies, and there really came the Eric that you're talking about. You observed that I love this habanero shit and fucking fire and whatever in my little things that I do on the side in cooking at home, and I really appreciate that because if I was a woman, I would already have handed you my pennies right there and then. You gifted me something that worth more than $100 because I did my research. I called the company and go, how much were these juju beans and this licorice shit and this spicy mango and this other? Oh yeah, that and the shipping was more than $100. And I was like, Eric, my man.
well,
And so that was very thoughtful. And I was like, I'll ask Eric why he does that. If I would be in your shoes, I think I'm doing it for marketing reasons, for awareness of Tint Wiz. I want you to give me a shout out when you receive it, blah blah. That's what I'm thinking. But if you say that truly from the bottom of your heart you're doing it for other reasons, you're doing a very good thing, man. A
Thank
great
you.
thing. Not,
Thank you. I mean,
yeah,
it was built into the company in the sense like just giving back. How can we give back? Because it's a fundamental thing. It can't be a marketing budget because then it just doesn't work. Like we've never been like, hey, give us a shout out or please take a picture or whatnot. A lot of the times we send stuff, and truly, my worry is that people that maybe didn't get something are going to feel left out. So when you share it, I'm like, awesome. But because then like people are like, well, where's mine? Where's this? And like that's just the nature of the business. You can't obviously do everything for everyone all the time, every second. So it is what it is. But what I'm saying is, I think the intention, like, I think if I would have gone in it with marketing, it would have never worked. It had to
really.
be that right intention. I really do, because you figure like what really caught fire. Let's like give an example of like where people started going like Eric's sending free stuff out. It wasn't the first thing we sent out. It was, I don't know what number, but it was those tri-edges. And when the tri-edges worked, I said, wow, these people, like everybody, like first we sent them to all our existing users. Now hear me out here. We sent it to our existing users. So these aren't
Okay.
people, these are people that are already paying us. They're already happy with us. Like, why would I send them stuff per se instead of somebody to try and convince them to use us? Well, because I want to give back to the people that are supporting me. I wasn't expecting them to then share that per se. Like that wasn't in my mind. I just said, I like as a fundamental mission, we want to give back to the people who are already using us, not just try to incentivize people. Because again, that just changes the direction you're steering the ship. If we keep going towards improving things for our current customers, there's no way we're not going to get more customers. But if we go towards trying to incentivize new customers, you forget about your existing customers. So the ship changes. So like, the tri-edges, once we realized how much people liked them, I said, well, we had, I think, 7,000 of them. I said, let's see how many tint shops we can get these into, because if people like them, hell yeah. But realistically, we didn't sell a single tri-edge for another maybe 2 shipments later. We've never made any money on them, obviously, if we're giving them out. Truly, it confused most people into thinking we're a tool company. They didn't really understand that. The people didn't understand that like it was an app. We weren't like, here are your tri-edges, we're an app. It was like, here are your tri-edges. So people started like trying to buy purple tri-edges and thinking we were a tool company.
Yeah, I remember that.
So like it
And you
wasn't
ran
like
out.
use our app and here are some tools. It was just here are some tools. And it spun us around a little bit. And then we literally started changing all our social media. If you look at our headers, to be really clear and go, we are an app. Get us in the app store, because I didn't want people to be confused and think like we sell tint or we sell tools, because we don't. We want to support the tool companies that are in the industry now by getting their tools out there. That's the goal.
I do not know enough about Tint Wiz because I'm not a user of your program, your app. I think I went into a post one time, Eric, and told you that if you wanted to, like, your app is really useful for anything related to automotive. So if you change oil, tires, PPF, ceramic, and whatever, and I think I gave you the idea. Well, it was an idea. I just made a one man suggestion of maybe call it a Wiz app instead of Tint, because it kind of like limits yourself to Tinters. And Tinters, whether I like it or anybody likes it, they're kind of like pinchies, you know? And the PPF and the ceramic people are like, they're more, they love bigger budgets and they believe in bigger budgets. Tinters somehow don't believe in bigger budgets, at least not the majority of them. So you think that Tint Wiz is in the future might ever change? Because I know that this program, this might be the last regular thing you said that it might change. Do you think you might ever change Tint Wiz name to something else to get more of the industry, or not really?
So, you know, I won't say that the name potentially couldn't change. Like Wiz app is the core name of the company, and then Tint Wiz is the app. Now, what I do know that's not going to change is our mission is to continue for the window film industry. So if you're a window
Okay.
tinter, you should be able to do everything you need to do within Tint Wiz. So that means selling your PPF, ceramic coating. If you do 12 volt, 12 volt. If you do roofs, whatever you do as a tinter, you're going to be able to use Tint Wiz for. Even so, it's outside of tinting. But what I don't see any plan to do is start investing in saying like, well, we're now going to be Detail Wiz and we're going to do everything for detailers. Now, mind you, if you're a tinter and you do detailing, I want you to do everything for detailing. But what I'm not really interested in doing is saying, hey, detailers, if you're a detailer, you can do everything for detailing. Because what I'm here to do is serve the tint community. And I feel like if I'm doing something outside of that that doesn't fit for a tinter, even so, again, what a tinter could do could be broad, but I'm still focused on tinter. If I'm doing something outside, like if you tell me, why don't you get into like construction or lawn care or something, I'm going to go, well, because that would take a time away from the tint industry. You can only do one thing at a time, essentially, in my mind. You only have 24 hours and 100% of your effort. So if it falls within window film, the answer is yes, including PPF and so on. But I feel like, look, if you're looking for a general CRM option, if you're looking for something that can just kind of, be very general, there's a million options out there. There's no, you Salesforce, there's complicated, there's this and that. But what TintWiz offers you is a streamlined process from lead to invoice in the most effective way that I ever seen, can imagine possible, that's continuing to get better. And what I mean by that is if somebody goes in right now, you can go to the App Store, you could get that app, you could send somebody a quote for dirty tints because they're preloaded in TintWiz already with the shades and everything available. You could do that in seconds. Now, any other CRM, you're going to go in there and you're going to spend the next week probably trying to set it up, trying to figure it out, trying to this and that. And, that's why I want to stay focused in window film because I never want it to get to that point where it's not perfect for a tinter. I want tinters to come in, it's made for them. Because who else is going to make it for them? Like, who else do you see? Not saying like nobody else exists, but I'm saying what companies, what people do you see that are going to say, we're going to go 100% for window tinters. We're not just going to make them one category of our business. We're going to make them the business in that sort of thing. So like, that's what's attractive to me is I don't feel like anybody else is going to do it. So I want to do it. I think
I think I talked to you last time and asked you the question of what is your team comprised of? And you told me that there are some other people in your team that develop all these things. So the question is, do you have any competitors of TintWiz in that program? You just mentioned Salesforce and some other stuff. Do you have any other competitors that you believe are competitors of the exact stuff that you do?
Not even close. Not even like.
So, yeah, then in that particular case, you probably have no business peeking on over to the PPF people or to the ceramic people.
Now, mind you, PPF people are going to hear about it.
The industry has more than 30,000 shops registered.
Here's the thing:
USA.
we have a very, very, very healthy PPF user base. Like the PPF, we have tint, we have ceramic coating. Like it's not something where the PPF industry hasn't heard about it through like word of mouth and detail only and so it's not, I don't feel like it's hurting us. I feel like it's just not worth pursuing because again we just go real narrow and let whatever on the side happens. And then you mentioned team. Like one of the important things to me about the team that I kind of touched on yesterday with Jason on Tinter Tuesday is like a core principle with TintWiz is keeping the company light and focused so it can always evolve and not run into the things that companies tend to get. So let me give you an example. We have no sales team. We'll never have a sales team. If we have a sales team, that means we're going to pursue sales. If we're pursuing sales, we're not pursuing bettering the product. That money, that effort is going to convincing people. I don't feel like convincing people is worthy of part of that business. I feel like it doesn't need a place. I think we could take the energy we would put into convincing people, put that same energy into the product, and then our users will convince people for us. And like, those are the kind of things I want to empower our community. You mentioned customer service. Hey, look, I feel you when you talked about like, hey, people just want to talk to you right now, and they don't understand like, hey, you're getting to a point. Like, I think everybody kind of knows how that feels at one time in their life, hopefully with their own business, through some success. That's one of the things where it's like success hurts because you don't want to let people down, but at the same time, you can only do so much. So those are the challenges that like we face. And, we find systems and ways that we can stay light. We can provide service that we think is going to be extremely effective. And it's not going to become a sluggish giant of overhead that ends up slowing down the company over the time, you know? Because then you find yourself the big company that you didn't like in the past. You find yourself finding the same issues that other companies maybe have,
Oh yeah,
you know, through that life cycle as a business.
correct. Let me ask you, Eric, something else related to the business. Do you let users use your program for 30 days or 60 days or 90 days for free or no?
Yeah. So when you download it, you can start using it with just your email and your name. There's no credit card, no payment required or anything. It's a 30-day completely unlimited free trial completely. Now, at the end of that 30 days, if you want to keep using it, you press a button that says extend my free trial and you extend your free trial. We make it like no commitment, no barrier to entry. Use it as long as you need until you're ready to pay us. That's how that works.
Have you related that to people? Enough people? I didn't know that.
I mean, it's always a challenge getting all the message out, but again, we're not, our energy is working on the product and serving our customers, and we think the message will get out over time.
Okay, all right, that's all. I thought because one of the things Expel did to me that I thought it was so effective was that, hey, Mike Dirty, several years ago, like, here's our cutting program. Use it. We'll be back later. And if you like it, you can pay us. If not,
That's
fuck,
the
man,
right
I fell in
way.
love with that motherfucker. Like, oh no, don't take the puppy away from me. I've had it for 30 days. Fuck.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm trying to get to, Eric, is that give somebody that shit for like 6 months till they can't live without it, and then they're going to be done. 30 days, I don't think it's enough. It's just an idea. I don't like to give any of my people, hey, Dirty, you're getting me some windshield tint or that. Nope. I'm not. I'm telling you that the product is already out there. It's available. It's the greatest product ever, except it's got my little sticker on it. But in your deal, nobody's tried your new, innovative, patented whiz platform thing. So I'm just here. I told the peers that we're going to bounce off ideas each other. So that to me, I'm telling you, this for you is not a hobby, right, Eric?
No, it is my full time, it is my life's work.
Okay. Do you think that in 6 months you'd still be okay with somebody using your program,
So
half
I
a
think you
million people, and
misunderstood
then,
what
you
I'm
know what,
saying.
Eric?
So hear me
I
out.
can't do without it.
Hear me out.
Now I want it.
There's a 30-day free trial. You can press a button to extend it. After that, you can press a
Oh,
button
okay,
to
for free.
extend it for free.
For
You
free.
press it. You just boom, press it. No credit card. Just press the button. So like what you're saying is basically there's no point where we're like, screw you, pay up. You know what I mean? It's like, what do you want to do? Like we hope you want to pay and use our software, but if you don't, you need more time. You came back to it 3 months later. Hit extend trial. Do your thing. We're not.
All right, all right.
Yeah,
That's all, man.
I
That's all
agree
I
with you
got to say
completely.
about that because I would really like to use your program because I want to do less of the old secretary call thing because everything is becoming virtual, and that's why you came into my life here. You came into everybody's life where people don't realize that people are buying cars on the fucking internet. You can't do a proposal on the internet like a virtual.
Right.
Here's a car, and then a little shade of 35 comes in here and a 20 and 5 and this is IR lamp and blah. All that stuff can be done online. You don't need to have secretaries anymore, but well, you need to have one or two people behind answering all those deals. And I saw that you dedicated a whole show to showing people how to use your program, and I thought that was perhaps one of the most intelligent shows I've ever watched because I don't know nothing about Tint Wiz, but you educated me how you did it there on the computer of how you did the canned presentation, semi-canned, extend the can, do this, do that. And I'm going to go back eventually and see it again and see if I find more stuff of that so I can learn, so I can integrate it. Not because I owe you anything, but I love technology and that's where it's going. And who else than you, because you are in our industry of window film and you already know what we are want or not want. You want to add QuickBooks and whatever other people that don't know our shit. No, give me a second. Okay, sorry about that. So that's where I'm going to be doing with your program, and I love that show that you did. It was like 3 episodes ago or something. I guess you didn't have a guest, and you did nothing but your thing, and I thought it was real good, man.
I
And I thanks for that.
beyond appreciate you saying that, and we do have videos on our YouTube channel, which could be
Oh,
helpful to you as well, or to anybody.
oh,
And
I
then
haven't seen those.
Another thing would be on Facebook. I don't remember if you're in the group yet, but there is a Tint Wiz community, and it is a group where people share and we share stuff in there as well. It's a Facebook group, Tint Wiz community, and it's all about like learning and asking questions and kind of sharing.
For as long as it's related to you being behind a computer showing us how to use it, I would be in it. If it has to do with somebody fucking promoting squeegees and shit, I'm out. I'm
No,
done with that shit. I mean, I have
like
no interest in
it's
nobody's
it's
tools,
it's
and
ideally
I don't
all
like
about the
advertising.
program.
I don't even advertise my own shit. It's like, so if I want to go into your group, please, hey man, my squeegee, my fuck you, man. Like, I want to see Eric because I don't know nothing about. I know about squeegees. I know how to
Well,
put film on.
what's cool because
I do
look,
not know about Eric's
I
product.
agree with you,
So
and there's plenty of groups to post about squeegees. I completely agree with you. But what's cool about the community is that it's not just about me. That community members share things, and they're things that I never thought about, and ways that they apply a QR code for marketing on their front door, or on their vehicle, or on stickers, and different things like different ways that people set up their proposals and services. What I'm saying is, it's a cool system, and that's part of what I was getting at when I said the customer service end of things. Part of our solution is a coaching program we're working on that's going to empower the community to help support the community in answering questions and so on, and in a way that kind of benefits everybody. Because at the end of the day, it's not about me building customer service. If we can all work together, it makes more sense. But I want to bounce an idea off of you, if that's possible. What would
yeah,
it
man.
take to get you on your own live stream by yourself every week, talking business, talking marketing, talking application, talking tools, going over the different tools you offer, showing how to use them and so on? I think people would get tremendous value, and I don't think you would have any. I think you're an absolute natural.
Eric, let me tell you something. And I probably say yes to a lot of your ideas if they have to do with helping the peers out. If it has to do with extending or selling shit, I'm not really into selling a whole lot of stuff. I have to sell stuff to, give me a second. I have to sell stuff I want to leave a carbon footprint that I did something good. If I'm going to be another Cartwright plastic tool seller or just selling another this or that or whatever, or fucking cheap ass film from somewhere to make $20 in a row that they're going to be calling me out on the internet. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be known for that. I don't want no part of that. But if it's something to help the peers out, I think that's the reason that I developed the YouTube channel. I am so naive in monetizing on YouTube, and I could care less about it, that I haven't gotten a single one penny from YouTube from having my videos there. The reason I put my videos in there, and I've been misconstrued by some peers of mine that I thought they were more intelligent than what they appear to be, is that they think that I put YouTube videos to sell them something. I give my YouTube videos for free so they can learn how to remove the sweeps, be comfortable doing this, doing that. And I've been using a lot of people's films in the videos, and I tell them what I'm using, and it's cool. But now that if I'm going to be selling my own film, I do apply my own film. That's for 100% fact. As soon as I get my ceramic line that they're fabricating, not for me, they're fabricating it in general for a lot of big distributors and stuff like that. That's going to be coming in soon. Then I will be using only the lines. Oh my God, somebody come in here. Sorry about that.
You're good. It didn't
Uh,
affect it.
oh, okay. So, um, fuck. I put the YouTube channel so that people, when they ask about a hump and a Corvette or a Beetle or this, it's not that I want them to do anything, but I do want them to go and look at it and help themselves through putting hours of viewing and practicing and viewing and practicing and viewing and practicing. And it's very sad to say, but a lot of people, they're so lazy that they don't want to hear that answer. It's like, well, what do you want? Do you want to go live? And I don't have a car to show you. I can show you on the board, and I do. Sometimes I do show them on the board, and this is the H pattern, and this is this, and I do it from the bottom of my heart. But what I'm saying is that they're the tinter that really wants to elevate themselves, to really want to be better and whatever, at least look at the link and look at the styles of doing this and that and whatever, because it's free. I'm not asking you to join nothing. I'm not asking for a trial. Just see it, because it's better than trying to make videos every damn week. I don't know if you're asking me to do videos every damn week, but right now my tool thing is so blown up that I don't have time to do my beloved videos that I love to do for everybody. I don't have the time because after I produce a video, I have to come and put in another program and do the text and from Canva, the pretty fucking letters and whatever, so it can kind of look okay,
Yeah.
and then put it out there for free so they can say, okay, so you've been asking about how to deal with that hump, how to deal with a felt, and hey man, dirty, do you snap string? What is a shave? What is like fuck? We've only gone through that like a gazillion times. Like I don't want them to search in groups because it takes longer. I think I've compiled about 130 videos that 130 not dirty 130 videos that they can actually see a lot of the stuff that I've done from protective shrinking protective exterior film on windshields to shaving to this to that, and you can see the evolvement of dirty from being scroungy and dirty looking whatever to getting a little bit better, and eventually I just got myself out of the camera and got a GoPro and got it going. But whatever it is that you want me to do as far as the community, if it helps the community,
Oh, I
and
didn't
don't
mean,
ask me to
and
go
I
into
didn't
this
mean
other group
I
that
didn't mean just
no.
in Tint Wiz community. What I mean is for dirty tools for your personal page, wherever you want to post it. I just think that,
Yeah.
and based on the comments, it sounds like people agree that people would just want to know, like, hey, the tools you offer, like when you say, hey, like this is a tool, this is common, this is how I use it, and so on. And people can just learn from you. It's not about you selling the tool. It's about them understanding what it is, how to use it effectively, knowing it's available, and doing whatever they want from there. And
Eric,
yeah, that's the
have
idea.
you ever seen any of my tinting videos?
Yes, I have. But what I'm saying
Okay,
is instead of doing them on YouTube, like I'm saying maybe do a live so people can ask you questions. You're there, you grab it, and you're interacting.
Eric. Oh my God, I would love to do that, but the fact of the matter is, I wear so many hats in my company, and I
Fair.
already helped so many. I already helped so many people through DM
Well,
and through
that's the
videos,
idea,
and
though. That's kind of the
no,
idea,
no,
just so you
I
know,
understand
is
the
that
live.
it removes the people from DMs and you give them a platform to go, this is when Mike goes live, this is when we can ask him the questions. Kind of instead of let's say, like if you answer a question on a live instead of a DM, a million people can see it on the live and after the live, whereas one person will see it in the DM. So you're going to get that same question a million times instead of it going out on a live and then they don't ask you. That's the idea.
I, I understand you. I understand you. I mean, going live, I don't know if I can tint the window and then answer like a million things over here. And I don't know. I mean, I think I saw that fuckface on Tint Shit. I don't know his name. That
See, are you
guy,
talking good about him or bad now? I don't know. I can't tell if you're
I'm
joking or you're praising. Like,
I'm half joking, but I really don't like the fact that he has a lot of followers, a lot of fucking AutoZone Gila Tint installer followers, and that's cool.
damn,
People
that
throw
is
their
not
stuff
the
in there.
case. That is not the case.
Oh, hold on, hold on, hold
Like,
on,
I
hold on.
can't
Let
even
me
like
just let,
go
let me
ahead.
elaborate.
I'm
Let me elaborate because I have a lot of my friends in there, and I love all my friends. A lot of intelligent friends are in there, but at the same time, he's got a lot of cream that doesn't belong there. And it's cool, but he has a responsibility like me, right? And he goes out there, and somebody says, "What about dirty tint?" And he goes out to say idiotic shit. A person that talks like a 9-year-old, that has a lot of
all
followers,
right.
that doesn't
Listen,
even know how to tint windows,
he
that he
definitely
has to
knows how to
put
tint
rookie tape
windows.
on windows to tint it. He said something like, "I'm doing it as a sidekick. That I'm kind of like not serving my community properly, or the tools, and I should let the window film distribution by pros and not by me." And ha, like, dude, you don't know me, but you go out there and tell your followers that I'm shit. Like, what the fuck, you know? But that's the reason I'm saying
I've
what
never
I'm
heard
saying about him,
anything.
because
Yeah.
I like him because he knows how to do his stuff. But as far as him knowing me and my intentions in the business, he doesn't know shit about it. And he should have recanted that comment or deleted that video in general. I thought he was disrespectful, and
So
I
let
don't
me
like
ask you
it.
this.
I don't like it coming from a guy that talks like a 9-year-old, that doesn't shower in the mornings, that tints in his dad's garage. That's what
Okay,
I'm
so
saying.
here's the thing. First and foremost, I have to just say, I just don't see where the personal attacks have any, like, I'm just saying, let me get this out, please. I don't see where the personal attacks have any benefit to anybody. But let's get past that. You brought up a couple times now, like different people that have maybe said something about you in the past that has kind of stuck with you and causes you to be upset. And you're like, they should have apologized. Because you said it twice now about
Well,
somebody earlier, and you just said it about Matt. He should rescind that or apologize or whatever, recount that statement. My question to you: you mentioned that you've been kind of a dick in the past at
correct.
points. Have you gone back to everyone you've been a dick to and apologized?
Yes, I said it in my videos all the time. If that's the reason I'll ask you and you see my videos, I've told people in my interviews and in my videos that I've been a raunchy ass a lot of parts of my life. And I really regret it because although I was godly talented to do all these things, the people didn't deserve to hear shit from me that way. So that's what I meant along the way of my career. And that's the reason I think that people call me dirty, a dirty Sanchez and whatever.
What do you mean? They call you
And
dirty because your
before I
brand's
disliked it.
dirty.
And I
Bro.
disliked it. I disliked that people call me dirty and dirty Sanchez and fucking Beaner and this. But then later on, I said, you know what? I, I'm doing it wrong. I'm doing this wrong because there's always somebody and a lot of people better than you, better than me. Not you, Eric. Sorry about that. There's always people better than me. A million of I can name right now. And the people that I used to shit on before on Facebook on Windows Film Pros, that's where I got a lot of following. I apologize to all of them if I ever insulted them because that was just a young me trying to be vivacious and bullshitty and whatever. I learned people straighten my ass out on the tube and off the tube. And that's the reason now I can go on and be real nice. People commend me nowadays on how do you handle that situation with so much calmness? People are shitting down your face, and you say, "Thanks for viewing," and that's it. And they go, "Well, because I already outgrown that. It's kind of like water off a duck's back." I'm trying not to ever be the old me again. And I'm sorry to Matt if I said shit about him. But you know what, Matt, you don't know me. So those things that you said about me, like leave it to pros, do it, bro. Later on, I am patient, and I already told Matt. I told him, and that's the reason that I left his group because he deleted my post after that. He didn't like for me to say what I'm going to say now. I said, Matt, if you don't feel confident in your own skin to scale and grow and take on responsibilities, that's on you. But I have decided that I'm going to scale, take responsibilities, take it to another level. And for you to tell me that you're just a part timer, customers deserve better, and you're not going to get it. It's not a challenge to me. I know it's going to happen. It's going to take time. But what I'm trying to say is that Matt didn't start out with no 13,000 followers. I mean, I remember
No,
him
no one
from
does.
a long time ago. Everybody starts with zero fucking followers, and he should realize that it took him 13 years to get where he's at. Dirty Tools is 2 years fucking old. I'm going to go places. And thanks to my peers, thanks to my followers, thanks to everybody that purchases, and they give me ideas about creating better tools. And I go forward with the ideas because I tell people, what is a great idea if you don't put them into practice, if you don't actually create what you want? So people live some of their dreams through me. That's why they prep me and they comb me and they put better shirts on me and whatever. So they want me to be successful for them. And I'm very, very thankful for that. So it's just a matter of time that I will get to that level. So that's all. If I say something bad about Mr. Matt, it's still true though. But that's it.
All
Sorry,
right,
sorry, Matt.
let me read a quick comment. Patrick Francisco said about you after I asked that question to you. He said that Patrick said that you have apologized to him directly via DM. He said that he can attest that you have been straight with him after a rocky start. So it's what you just said. Basically, he
You
was
know
an
what,
example of it.
Eric, I didn't remember. I didn't remember that, but me and Patrick, because I've always been, well, not now, but before, like I said, the bravado, the bullshit, the this. I mean, I think Patrick put what is it, a moderator on my ass all the time because my mouth, my comments to this, whatever, and they had to follow me around the Windows Film Pros group and whatever. And so after a while, I was like, dude, I mean, can I express myself the way that I want to normal and instead of trying to censor? So yeah, we had a little rocky beginning. But after that, I did apologize, and I will apologize again because I know that probably I no, No, I haven't. I haven't said nothing about Patrick. He's a hardworking person. He's leading the Win the Film Pros deal, the consumer awareness thing, and you already know, Eric. There's other companies that are trying to do that, but they're not doing it. And so, no respect for the people that say we're going to do it, dude. You've had 20, 30 years to do it. While Patrick is doing it, and whether we see eye to eye, whether he likes a post of mine or a video of mine or not, that'll be irrelevant. That man deserves a lot of credit for opening up a lot of doors for us installers. And I said the same thing about Mr. Bob Williams, Fusion Tools, and a bunch of others that I probably don't know, but they've opened all these tools so make it easier for the dirty and for a lot of other people to survive and thrive in this industry. So that's me being honest.
Well, you have a ton of love and support in the comments. I'm sure like you should definitely go read them afterwards, but a ton of love and support, literally. And, you know, I really thank you for taking the time and opening up and doing this.
You're not going, are you?
It's, what?
You're not leaving, are you?
I have nowhere to go. I check in
You
with
always
you.
said in your closing statement, I have nowhere to go, but bro, you know, it's like 9:30 already. And we've been on for an hour and 40 minutes, right? I barely saw my watch.
I try to read the room and see when maybe we're that's it. I have nowhere to go.
Does anybody have any questions, Eric, that you can see?
Let's throw it out there. If there's any questions, this is a perfect time to ask Mike. While we wait for any questions,
I'm going to ask the people, being so gracious that they're out there, ask me of anything of tools that you want, except the tank because they're very expensive. Whatever you want. If you can answer a couple of questions, and I'll probably the first 3 or 5 people, if they answer it correctly, then I'll gift them whatever they want. You go to the store and tell them, dude, I want all this stuff. Great. Give me 1 second and I'll read them right now.
Okay. And Jesse was asking, when's that dirty ceramic dropping?
As soon as the actual distributor that is in relations with the manufacturer, they've been back and forth with the colors and this and that, and then COVID got underway, and believe me, it's been a disruptor for business for everybody. I just came from the dealer. Well, I don't tint cars to the dealership, but I see at the dealership, the Chevrolet, more than half of their lot is empty. They don't have cars to sell. And I don't know if it's a trend that everybody's like, the COVID affected them so much that up right now, people don't even have cars to sell. I don't know if that's true in the industry. Either they're going out of business or the COVID hit them that they don't have tools or whatever. So the same thing's hitting the window film industry. So wherever I'm having my stuff made and whatever, it's also the same. You know, it was supposed to be out, I think, in April. It wasn't. And this, so to me, I'm just going to wait. I mean, it's going to come. I'm going to sell it. I'm going to sell tons of it. And hopefully by then I can be touring the country and showing people how to do the install and this and the marketing and the dirty tint and whatever. I might rename it. But right now it's still, I mean, there's so many things. You know, I don't have time for everything. But for sure, I do have time for all my peers. And thank you for all the inboxes and thank you for all the love that you always afforded the dirty. And the question is, before window film, or even when people that are supposedly know window film, they go out here. When was the first patent of window film ever issued? What is the year? First 3 people will get something from me. That's the first question. The second question is, before window film, there is this flow thing that was the thing, which was window film. And there was a prominent company that opened up, and it was according to what I was reading. And I know people don't do too much of this. I do. I pay my dues. I am an IWFA member, and I have all the certification except for one because it's a new one. And I was reading before I came into the show just to, I mean, I have articles that are there that are more than a year old because I haven't made time to just go in there. There's a ton of information in there. And so what I learned today, there's a documenter person, Mr. Maldonado, and I learned something that I didn't know. So I'm going to ask my gurus who might not know, who was the first company and what year was it? And I'll give you a lot of dirty deals because I know you're not going to get it because you just don't know these facts. But I want you to be aware of the fact that where window film came from and how it initiated with the liquid flow. Who was the first company that set up? What year was it? And if you're thinking, no, it's probably not that. And it was I got that information from this one right here. They have something on what is it, YouTube? They're putting together a thing, right? So I learned about it today. I didn't. Everybody says, they go to the forums and, hey man, so who invented tint and who invented the Cali roll, and everybody throws all these kind of things and whatever, but nobody really knows. So I think that's part of a little bit of asking them to do a little bit of digging and research. And if I find it in the comments, people like, when was the first Winterfield patent awarded? I don't care of the company. And it's there on Google or something. That's one of them. And the other one is the Liquid Flow, the very first company. And I'll give you a hint. Came from California. And that company, what year was it and what the name of the company? I'll gift you whatever you want from my dirty store. A lot of stuff in there. And that's it. And if you want like a lot more, like maybe $500 of stuff, tell me the inventor of Liquid Flow. He has a PhD, and you probably will not know his name. So that's why the $500, I said it, but I don't think they're even going to win. But anyway, that's a little bit of the history of that. And so no other questions. You're like, hey, Dirty, when are you going to drop the ceramic tint? Like, it's going to come.
We got a
No
lot
other
of
questions.
there's a lot of guesses for the years and companies to the questions you just asked. And one of the questions
Okay.
that came in a little earlier was, and it was about the chair. Is that chair available? Did you just did you order it that way or did you make it that way? Like, I feel like people would want a
This
chair.
year,
Yeah, somebody asked if the chair was available for sale.
actually, I had my upholstery person develop it for me, so I could sit on it and remind myself every day that I have a very big responsibility and that the person who sits on this chair should fulfill that responsibility that he took on. And so it's a reminder. It's a personal item. I do not develop them or I sell them, but I thank you for the observation. I've had that similar question. Damn, dude, that's a nice chair. Like, yeah, I know. Oh, also, before I even leave, Mike Berg, I love you to death. You're such a workaholic. You set an example and you set the bar so high for us to kind of like follow. And I know he doesn't do a whole lot of tinting. I don't think so. But he does a lot of selling, branding, and all that kind of great stuff, opening the stores. And a lot of people want to be like Mike Burke, but it takes a lot of work. So, but for us that are doing something else, I still love for the film industry to have people of such stature, like himself, Mike Nord, such a great inventor, and other people. I mean, there's other ones that don't come to mind, but they're up there. And I'm glad, like who's the other one from Hawaii? The guy who always has a
Tommy
tan.
Silva?
What's his name? Yeah, man. That guy has always been. I mean, when I was like, I don't know, 6, 7 years ago, following this magazine right here, the Winterfield magazine. I don't know why I put it up so many times, but I read it and I saw Tommy Silva with this company TNT or whatever, and like, damn, one of these days, man, I gotta go to Hawaii. It'll be a business expense. Meet that tan man from over there. Those guys are opening up all these deals, all this information about marketing and Dirty. How do I do it? Dirty. I want to do that, dude. Just do what I do. I go to the internet. I get the IWFA magazine. I educate myself. I give the man a call. I give the man a DM. He'll give me some ideas. I mean, he's such a nice person. He'll give you some ideas of this or that. It's just that the people are not willing to do the work. I mean, success has never been easy. If success, Eric, you already know it. If success would be easy, 99% would be successful and only 1% would be unsuccessful. And that's just not the way it is. 1%, 5% success. Everybody else just follows. I am a follower, but I'm also a very big doer. The reason I follow is because to me, that's the shortest route to gaining intelligence. If somebody already invented the wheel, I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. I can reinvent dirty tools or tools, but I cannot reinvent the wheel. So like you already have a badass system, I'm not going to go and develop a dirty whiz or something. No, you already got your stuff so good that I'm going to get it from you. And so
Yeah.
I see the Expel people dress up so nice and do their canvas shows and their what do you call it, the Tesla drives and the this and the that. All that stuff in marketing, it's out there for people to see, and it just fucking goes over their head. Like, dude, what are you? Instead of going and bashing the fucking $99 post, can you get your head out of your ass and go and look at marketing stuff that will benefit your business? How? in the world do you believe a $99 shop is a threat to you? On the eighth day, God created the $99 tinner. And he is here on this earth and will stay forever. And we have to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
I got a million of them around me. I am in McAllen, 7 miles that way south. You don't know where I'm pointing, but south is Mexico. They do tin jobs for $30. 15 miles that way to my left, which is the east, I have the flea market, and they're like brothers over there. Their shops are like 20 of them row next to each other, and they tin cars for $40 and $45 and whatever. They buy the tin from Mexico, like cheap ass film that when you're putting liquid, the color runs off the film, and they're not a threat to me. There's an ass or a seat for every ass or whatever ass for something like that, right?
Gotcha.
So why is it that people are so scared of the $9? Raphael Van Dexter is not afraid of him. Tim Ham is not afraid of him. Michael Burke for sure is fucking afraid of anybody. So why is there so many posts about this? So the thing is that people are wasting their time. I go to the Facebook and people think that I just have nothing to do. I'm doing research. I'm looking at the problems that you're encountering. I want to know if there's a solution to them or not. I want to know if I can improve or not. If not, ni modo, I can't. You know, I already extended myself doing all these things. I have a door guard. You've seen Eric, you've mentioned it before. I developed it out of fucking thin air from observation, from other people's failed attempts at doing one thing.
Mm-hmm.
The door guard, the tire guards are a no-brainer. They've been here and there. But I gave people a head start. Don't tell me that I'm a bully or this or that. I gave them a head start of like 10 years, and nobody decided to do them. So I see the ceramic and the PPF need for it, and I see these trends. I'm not Nostradamus. I don't predict the future, but I can see the trends and I follow them and I fulfill the need. And while everybody else is selling fucking car plastic shit, I'm over here looking at real needs that I can fulfill, that I don't have to worry about chisels that are 99 cents that I'm going to have to sell for 98 cents to make a dollar. No, I'm not even making a dollar. I'm making tools that are very unique that people need. And that's of why I'm in the Facebook all the time. Hey, Dirty, you're all over the motherfucking place. So I DM you because I know you're the man with a plan. And how can I do start a business? How can I do this? And I always tell them, I want you to see this deal, and I'm going to tell you. It's all about research. And look, you want to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but you want to do 10 fucking push-ups? It ain't going to happen. You don't put in the work, it's not coming to you.
Right.
And I know that a lot of people want like, hey, dude, what are the first three things of Facebook and this and that? Tell me right now the thing that I can do that will bring me 20 cards by Saturday. It ain't going to happen. That's just not the way marketing works. It's a long-term process. And I say, but as soon as I say it, they shut me off and they don't want to listen because nobody wants to do hard work. Hard work and success are correlated. I just don't know another person that has money flowing from trees that they don't do nothing. That just doesn't happen. How many hours do you put in your Tint Wizard on a daily basis?
I'm on the computer at 6:30 a.m. I'm on the computer at 11, usually p.m. So, I go to the bathroom, I drink coffee, I walk around the house a little bit, but it's pretty much all the rest of that time. 7 days a week, it's that for the most part.
Well, and you have really, the gene and the thing that follows a lot of successful people. And I don't want to say I'm successful because I'm not there yet. I'm just, it's a step in. I'm a work in progress all the time. But they have the same MOs. Mike Burke wakes up at fucking 4:30 in the morning, does jujitsu, weights, has a milkshake and a lot of other shit, and fucking flies across to Arizona, then to Florida, then to New York, and does all these things and makes a lot of money. And like, that is enviable. I wake up at 4:30 to take a shit, my first one of the day, and Mike Burke is already like deciding on conquering the next world of window film sales, of stores and whatever. So success, I don't care what anybody posts here and there. It's always going to be a long-term thing.
Yep.
And I know people don't like to hear it, but I'm here to say it again. Dirty and my thing, I've been working at it for about 7 years. When I met Facebook groups, I started there, and it's been evolving to what you see right now. So it's a journey. And now that I found like my comfort zone, then I now am becoming more of a workaholic and waking up earlier and doing things and whatever, so I can help more people out and more DMs. And dude, believe me, Eric, when I'm in the morning, go to the restroom, do this, I have to open and I have to clear, bro. I have to clear them, but I clear them one by one because every single message is important. And most of them, a lot of them are like, "Where's my package?" And did you send me a track? We sent it to email. Oh, I never checked my email. Oh, there it is. Oh, thank you. They're like, fuck. So I got like 60, 70 notifications as soon as I pop it open, DMs and whatever all together. Like, and I got to clear them on a daily basis. So it's work, man. It's just a lot of work. And the people that DM me and, hey, can you do a live right now? I got this car that I can't get out. Like, sometimes I can, and I'm sorry. I wish I could extend myself, but I can't. So that's all I got to say about that, Eric. Thanks a lot for your devotion to the window film industry. I never asked you if you ever tinted a window in your life, but right now I guess it's irrelevant. You know enough about window film installers, and you develop a wonderful program for us. And I thank you for that because you make our lives easier. Dirty Tools, through their tools, wants to make the life of the applicator easier. Patrick Franco leading the way in the awareness of window film so that a lot of companies can be on the map. He's also a big leader and stuff. So a lot of love to you guys. And like I said, again, to Mr. McIntyre, Burns Smallhorns for being great supporters and giving selflessly, not being afraid that I'm going to steal your customers. That doesn't happen. The world is just filled. The USA is filled with abundance of customers that are unfulfilled. And that's the reason for the expansion of Dirty and Dirty Tools and Dirty Promotions. Los quiero mucho a todos los seguidores. Hasta luego.
All right.
That's it, Eric. I did your closing for you.
You did the closing. That's a wrap. Mike, thank you so much. It was beyond a pleasure. It takes a village, and I'm glad you're part of the village. So
you're gonna do something new. You said I don't know what it is. I have an idea, bro, because I watch some other things that I don't want to mention here on the tube, but I have an idea what you're gonna do. I would love to be a guest in the future if it fills any needs or anybody asks that they want to see the big old dirty again. I'll be happy to do it. Thanks a lot for the tip on the live thing going. I don't know if I can do it because the many hats. I have a company that I do. I have to slit film. I have to be on the phone with the chinks for hours. I'm sorry, with a lot of the people that I have to deal with to get orders faster and all that kind of stuff. So it's just what I have to do. So thanks a lot, man. Thanks for having me.
Have a great night.
Yep.
My pleasure. Thank you.
You too.
Bye.